Hey, hey, hey. It's Khadija Ansani, your business mentor coach here at bloomintoyou.com. And in today's video, I am breaking down the difference between a conversation between friends and a coaching conversation. So, if it's the first time you're seeing me, I am a business coach for coaches, helping them get their first paying clients, next paying clients, and fill their practice. And sometimes new coaches and also working coaches sometimes wonder or find it difficult to truly understand the depth of the coaching conversation. And I've heard people say, well, why would I pay someone to talk to them when I could just talk to my friend? And so I want to nip that in the bud right now. So, kind of, what happens in the friendship zone and what happens in the coaching zone. So, typically, when you are talking to your friend, most people multitask. Maybe you might be talking to them while you're driving. Maybe you're talking to them when you're doing other things like cooking or with your children. There are other activities going on and other stimulus. Like you might be in the grocery store or at a cafe where it's loud. So other things are happening while you're talking to your friend. When you are talking to a coach or in a coaching conversation, the coach's attention and your attention is on your coaching conversation. And so your coach isn't on Facebook, isn't like managing their kids or cooking dinner while they're talking to you. In fact, they need all of their faculties to be able to help you, one of which is really being able to access a level of deep listening that can only that can only occur when they're paying 100% attention and being fully present and in the moment with you while you are coaching. Also, when you're talking to a friend, you probably take turns sharing what's happening with you. Maybe you share your day and what's happening with you, and then your friend, and maybe you go back and forth, and you cut each other off. Like if they say something and that reminds you of something, like, wait, hey, that just happened to me too. So that dynamic is not happening in a coaching conversation. The coach isn't sharing with you what's happening in their life and catching you up on their day and, the stream of consciousness things that are happening with them. Typically, I will share personal things about me only if it's relevant to the conversation, only if I think that it would be helpful to my client and serve them in some type of way. If it's not going to serve the conversation and it's not going to serve them taking action or serve their goal, there's no real benefit for me to just be sharing what's happening in my life. So that little distinction in a coaching conversation, the conversation is solely about the client, solely about their goals, solely about what they want, solely about what's going to move them forward. It's not about the coach's goals and vision. That's just not what it is. Another thing is that with your friends, you talk about any and everything. You could be talking about the Kardashians. You could talk about, politics and what's happening, going on in the world. Maybe you're talking about your kids, co-workers. So like the subject can just be all over the place. And, maybe you forget your train of thought and you just go on to something else. When you are working with a coach, the conversation isn't all over the place. It's a focused conversation because when you've signed up, you've said, hey, this is what I want to work on in my life. This is where I want to grow in my life. So your whole coaching is about that. And that doesn't mean that you can't bring other things. Maybe you've experienced a loss or some heartbreak, or maybe something else is on your mind that's distracting you from being present in the current coaching conversation. So if that needs to be addressed and cleared in order to do the work, then you'll do that. But you aren't just saying, okay, let's talk about my cat and this is what my kids ate for school today. Like it's not filler conversation, right? It's the stuff that really, really is important, that's pivotal for you, and that you really want to see some traction with. Another thing is you invest in coaching, right? Like you don't invest in, you invest your time and energy and your emotions into friendship, but something happens when you invest in coaching, right? There's a level of commitment that you're stepping into. There's a level of accountability that you're stepping to. So you may have friends that you tell them these are the things that you're working on, that maybe you want to change your eating habits, or you want to start working out. And your friend might say how that's going, but if you don't do it, they're not going to be like on you. And they're probably like, you're an adult. I know you said maybe they want to be a supportive friend, but if you don't want to make any traction, they're not gonna keep talking to you about it, right? However, when you're in a coaching relationship, in a coaching conversation, like part of the point is to have forward momentum, right? And so each conversation that you have is seeing how much closer you are to getting to where you want to be. So there's an accountability that's a part of the coaching that you may not experience with a friend. And that's not to say that you can't support each other. I've had friends where we go on walks together, and some days I don't want to do it, but they want to do it, and vice versa. Some days they don't want to do it and I don't want to do it, but because you're in this thing together, like there's another reason for you to show up, right? And so when you invest in the coaching, you're saying, I'm really serious about seeing growth in this area of my life. And the coach is also invested in you getting the results that you want and you moving closer and closer to the results that you want. So is there anything else that I have forgotten? Sometimes when you're talking to your friends, they give you unsolicited advice. Or, you should do this and you should do that. And well, why don't you just do this? And sometimes they're right. Why don't you just do that? But the reason why you don't do it is the reason why you're working with a coach. The reason why you're not doing it could be because of fear, because of perfectionism, because of not good enoughness. So all of those reasons why you're not doing it is what you're working on with a coach, not what you're working on with your friend. Because to your friend, it just seems like, well, okay, if you want to lose weight, why don't you just stop eating that stuff that I see you eating all the time? Or why don't you just go work out, right? Oh my God, I'm just laughing because it's true in a sense, right? But the reason, there's so many things that all of us do that we could be doing, and we know we should, that it would be helpful to us, but there are reasons that we're not. And so you're not coming to a coach just for the reason that you think, I'm coming to a coach because I want to achieve stead result, right? So you're going to a coach for the result, but you're also going to a coach for the reason why you're not able to achieve the result. And so your coach is actually skilled and experienced and an expert at helping people with the reason why they're not. But your friend is not. Even if some of the things that you do in coaching might be some of the things that your friend would recommend, but if it were that easy, everybody would be doing the thing, right? But there's a reason why you're not doing the thing. So those are some key distinctions between the friendship conversation and the coaching conversation. And there's just a depth to working with a coach. Like you're focused entirely, the both of you are focused entirely on having you make progress, incremental progress towards the thing or the things that you want in your life. Your coach is holding a container, a space for you to transform, to have breakthroughs, to evolve. Your friend, even if they're a coach, has not agreed to hold that container for you. Even if they're a coach, because I have lots of friends that are coaches, and the coaching, we're having friendship conversations as coaches, even though there might be a little bit of coaching, but you don't listen and you don't respond in the same way that you do when you're actually in a coaching container, because there's commitment, there's permission, there's I'm agreeing to do this, I choose to do this, I want to do this, and I'm going to be taken through, or I'm going to walk through a process, whether it's a day process, a 6-week process, a 3-month or 6-month process, to really work on this area of my life. And your friend, even if they're a coach, they're not, well, let's break that down. Your friend is not equipped to do that. Second, your friend that's a coach hasn't agreed to coach you and hold that space for you. So I hope that answers your question about what's the difference between a friendship conversation and a coaching conversation. The coaching conversation is designed to help you break through the thing that's holding you back. It's designed to help you feel supported to show up and have what it is that you want to have. You know, it's designed to help you gather all of your resources, your courage to take the next steps and to take them consciously. So if you have any further questions about the difference between a friendship conversation and a coaching conversation, I would love for you to post them in the comments below. And if you are a new coach or a working coach and you're looking to get your first client or next client, or you're just like, I want to fill my practice, I would love to invite you into a business clarity call with me where we can look at where you're at in your business right now, where you want to be, what's holding you back from taking the next steps. And I assure you, you'll have some type of insight breakthrough on our call and leave with some ideas for your next steps so you can start gaining some traction in your business. All right, until next time.